All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that sound means. It is time for the return of live tutorials. It's been a while since I've done one of these puppies before. The last time you saw me do this is when we started that schedule where we had tutorials on Tuesday. And that is our brand new schedule. Tutorials on Tuesday, literal. Today's tutorial series is going to be starting with the platform project. And if you know about platforming games, you probably know about Mario, Sonic, and all those types of games. And in this particular series, I'm going to show you guys how to use the platform project asset to make your very own style Mario and Sonic styled game. So what we need to do, make sure you have the asset pack ready to go. The asset can be found on Unity. This is the page for the asset pack. It is 45 US dollars. I got it on sale for 20 when um when um when it was on sale. So I got it for 20. It is 45 USD by default. Look at the top comment. I got this comment here, $5. I got this on sale. Now time to get my Liddy Adventure 2, like Sonic Adventure 2. And you're gonna find there's more Mario things in this asset. I'm also gonna let you guys know I have downloaded other assets to prepare for this series. So if you see me use something that is not part of the asset pack, it is because I'm using it as part of the level creation. So today's episode, we're gonna be going over the asset itself. We're gonna be going over the prefabs, and then we have a mini project I want to give you guys as part of this series. As always, I have done these things in the series. So here is the asset. It is player 2, and you're going to go to platformer project, and you're going to see this folder called examples, scripts, and documentation. Go to examples, and then go to scenes. So that is where you're going to see the scene for like the sample. So here is the test level that you are going to be greeted with when it comes to the asset pack itself. So as you guys can see here, the that is all everything you see in this area is what you get in the asset pack right off the rip. Now I will tell you, make sure you also have a USB controller on hand with you, because when you're doing testing, it's actually better to use a controller because it's more useful. What's going on, Casey? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have a question about anything about the asset pack or some tips and tricks, let me know. I'll be happy to answer you some of your questions if I can. Make sure you have a USB controller handy so that you can test it out. So we're gonna go over all the things you can have in the asset. All right. So most of these you're probably familiar with. For example, the coins make sense. Have I been good? Have I been using Godot? No, I have not. I actually want to learn it because I've heard that particular engine is looking good. I've always wanted to try it. I've always done RPG Maker MV, and I'm trying to use Unity as well. Yeah, good question there. So you have this little thing here. This is like those that one that flips every time you spin jump in Mario Galaxy. And then you have this grind wheel like the one in Sonic Adventure. And then you have the checkpoint flag right here. But then we have a swimming pool. Then we have these little bouncing guys. And then we have other stuff that we're gonna be using, okay? Working with it now, it's nice. Oh, the physics. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna take a look at Godot. Some other time, all right? If I have the time to do so. Remember, I do tutorials, but I also do gaming and I do video editing for VRChat stuff. That's why I'm like, that's why I'm like it like that. I like it like that. Right now, let's go ahead and actually go to the second level. That is because in this one, actually not this one. I think it's this one. Nope, it's this one. So this level actually has a gravity field where you can do like Mario Galaxy. You go from planet to planet. So you're gonna see how that works as well when we do the entire asset. Now let's go make our own level. Okay, we're gonna make our own level now. We're gonna right click, we're gonna make a new scene. We're gonna create a new scene. SCENE, new scene. We're gonna title this new test level. Now, ahead of time, before the stream started, I also installed a package called Probuilder. Please keep in mind, Probuilder, the idea of Probuilder is a prototype, not a full thing. Okay, so be very careful. Probuilder, you're supposed to use it as a prototype for like objects and all that. So to get a Probuilder, all you have to do is project package manager. When it says this one, when you go to here, now I'm using Unity 6. Go to Unity registry, type in Pro B for Probuilder, and install that so that we can start with our prototyping. I have it ready, and I believe it is under Tools, Probuilder, Editors. I don't have the window. There's not number 2, Unity version 2. So we're gonna make a new shape. We're gonna make a new cube. All right, our new cube is somewhere. Actually, right here. So there's like regular Probuilder. Gonna make a cube. Like this and like this. I'm gonna go to my hierarchy. I'm gonna right click, create empty. What I want to do is create a quote unquote folder, and I'm gonna call this level base. And I'm gonna put this cube under that level base. Alright? Once we have done that, we are going to move this to where we want our playing surface. We want our playing surface. So this is our playing surface right now. We're gonna use the rectangle tool to move our little plane area. We're gonna save it. Then we need to make sure we have the right asset inside. As part of the idea of this asset, we're going to go to examples. We're going to go to prefab. Where is prefab there? Prefab. We're going to go to entities. We are going to look for Lily. Now, what is Lily? Lily is your player controller. Who is Lily? Lily is just a character that is for this particular asset pack. That is how she looks like. Now keep in mind, you are allowed to replace characters. In Unity, you just need to know how to. We will not go into that today, however. That is for advanced material. And I wanted this more for beginners friendly. All my tutorials are beginner friendly based. Even the upcoming the next one, which is going to be the idea of making your own very own ROM hack for Super Mario World. Okay, so we have Lily. Now, before we move on, let's go back to the test levels so we know what we actually need other than Miss Lily over here. We're going to go to scenes. We go to the scenes, or we can go to a test level. We're going to take a look at game level camera and post process. we must have game, level, and camera and post process in our thing here. And that can be found under, let's go to examples. We're going to go to, let's see here. We're going to need to go to, I believe, prefabs. And then we need to go to, I think, global. Yeah, the global. So we're going to need to go to global because this is required for the level picking system, level selection. So we have to go back to scenes again so we can do this in our own level. And then we have to go back to global on the prefabs here. GGG global. So we need camera, level, post process. So we're gonna have camera. We're gonna have game. We're gonna have level. We're gonna also import TMP examples. This is because of text. If you see me do my VRChat world development tutorials, that is exactly what you do as well. So you must do this. Once it loads, we can continue, and it's be done now. Now, why is these three in particular very important? Because the game data, the level data, and the camera data will be stored in those particular assets. Now, obviously, they're not objects; they are game objects, but these are very important game objects because if we go to the inspector, we take a look at level. So level prefab, you're gonna notice that we have these particular things we can change. Okay. So as you guys can see here, we have all these that we can play with. We also have game. Under game, we have these particular settings that we can change. And I will talk about stars per level, initial retries, and all this down the line. But you have to have this because it's part of the prefab. Also, under game is levels. You have three entries in this particular table. That is because there are three levels based on scenes. This is important because if you don't put your level in the game prefab, your level is not going to be there. To do that, it's very simple. We're going to add an entry into this level here. We're going to click on this. The general settings, we're going to choose general level. We're going to call this new level. Okay, new level. Let me go back to our scenes so that we have them ready right off the rip. Because we need to have this ready. And then we go back to game. So new level is going to be our name of the level. The description is this is a test level. Now, there's the next section is called locking settings. If the level is locked because the player needs X amount of stars, you click on it to enable locked. Then the required stars is how many levels, how many stars you need to unlock this level. Important because you do not want to accidentally lock your level. Start level settings. We have start level settings scene is going to be test level scene 3. No, it is going to be new test level. Okay. Okay. That's the scene here. Okay. We're not going to do anything else for exit level scene at this moment. But let's take a look at actually. Yeah, you're right. No, never mind. Actually, they all do the test level 3 thing. So we're going to have to keep that default. Never mind. Good thing I looked at the others. Okay. Now, here's the catch. We're not done yet. because we have to be file. We're gonna go file, build, build profiles. I believe it's now. Let's go to actually not build profiles. Um, I know there is because it is under project settings. Let me just make sure it's project set. No, because I know there's a way that you can add open scenes because that's required. We'll get into that later. Now, let's add some prefabs. So the first thing we want to do before we add any fun stuff is we want to add platforms. That is why I have you guys use Probuilder. That is exactly why I said Probuilder. So that we can start prototyping stuff. So we go to Tools, Probuilder, Editors, Create Shape. Let's create a cube. That is our second cube. We're going to type right here. We're going to be putting it right here. This is our cube. Now under cube, we're going to put it under level base so that we can use it as a level base. I'm going to then left click. I'm going to go back to my move tool. I'm going to move my cube to where I want it. I'm going to copy and paste it. So again, I have second cube, and I'm going to use the rectangle tool and move it up so that it's like a staircase. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my cube, my two cubes, the one that makes a staircase. Be very careful because sometimes other objects can be selected, especially when you have the canvas. Copy, paste, and I'm going to go put it over here. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to use my rotate tool to rotate the object. I'm going to use my rectangle tool on our little play area to expand it. Then what I'm going to do on purpose is I'm going to add our first prefabs that is coming from our thing here. So we want to go to prefabs. We're going to go to platforms, and then we're going to take a look at the falling platform. So this guy is our first real prefab when it comes to this particular project. We have a falling platform. These platforms fall under an X amount of seconds, and you can change this by going to an inspector. We're always going to put this under the level base. So under X inspector, under this platform, we're going to go to the right and say we're going to change some settings here. So we have general settings, have auto reset, fall delay, reset delay, fall gravity. Also we have shake setting. We have speed and height. So we're going to go ahead and not mess around with the settings right now because I want to show you guys how it looks like when we play test. Let me just make sure I have the right lily. I do. So this is why I said to have a controller handy. Now as you can see, I have our little platforms. I have our little falling block. 1, 2. There's the shake delay, and then there's the fall with the fall gravity, and there's the fall delay, there's the reset delay. As you guys can see, that was 5 seconds almost. Alright? And yes, so now the idea here is to set up our first obstacle. Now, obviously in Mario games, you do have lives, so yeah. So we're going to set up our first obstacle, learning about the assets at the same time. So we're going to move this even farther back, and then I'm going to make it more interesting. I'm going to extend this play area on purpose this way. I'm going to move Lily, our character here. We're going to move her over here. Nope, over here. We're going to move her to where our thing is, our little platform. Then what I'm going to do is um, I'm going to resize this. I'm going to resize this. I'm going to make another play surface. I'm going to move this play surface over here. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize that again so that when we go to this particular zone, we're going to omit this area so that there can be like a obstacle course, and then we have to go all the way to this area right here where you are not allowed to go past this without going through that area there. Actually, let me redo that. Let me go ahead and put a wall. Gonna put a wall in this area so that you're not allowed to cheat. So right here, I'm gonna put the wall right there. Let me just make sure it's aligned. I gotta make sure it's aligned so that it's not looking weird. I'm gonna make it to the right. Gonna go down here a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna resize this wall downstairs a little bit so that's not like a big bad wall. Okay, good. Okay, now how do we get around? How do we get across to that particular area knowing that we have to do an obstacle course? Well, we are going to learn about the rest of the assets at the same time. So we're gonna copy this block. We're gonna copy this block. We're going to go ahead and copy it. That is our falling block. We're gonna do it one more time. Also, to make it more interesting, we are not allowed to go back. Not go back, but I am not allowing the player to go back, as in I'm going to remove that one and I'm going to put this as a wall. Okay, I'm going to remove that one for now, put this as the wall, so that in order to progress in this particular level, you have to go through this maze of blocks. Also, to make sure you cannot cheat, there's going to be a bigger wall. So right now, we're just building like your little level with the use of learning how to use assets here from this pack. So you do not know what's behind this wall. Obviously, I can tell you because I'm the one that's like editing this. But let's say that you want to hide something there. Make sure it's at least an inch like this. And then when you resize it, cover this area too. And also like this and like this. All right. Now make sure your landing zone is acceptable. Okay, to make sure there's no peeking, close it like that. You want to close it. Now remember, this is not aligned on purpose. Just so that I can give you the tutorial. Now Lily does not jump that high. So we're gonna put another falling platform right there. Okay. I'm also putting a wall here. Okay. We're gonna put the wall right around there. I'm gonna put it up just a tiny bit more. And then I'm going to copy it. And there's our first part. I'm just gonna close this. And there we go. We have our first portion of our level. Now, obviously in Mario games, it's closed. But we're going to open it just so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Our next platform type is the grid pattern platform. This is like the one in the Mario games, in Mario Galaxy. The one where you jump and spin, and it goes from red to blue. This is like that, but it's yellow to red, I think. So we're gonna move this up so that we can jump on it. And I'm gonna show you how these assets work when we playtest this in a moment. Then we're gonna have, let's have a, you know what? Let's see what else we got. We have a platform. We're gonna have the dice platform. Now this is a regular dice. Okay. Now keep in mind, I am just throwing in assets just to give you guys a deep dive into how this pack, what comes with it, the pack. But please do not just throw assets. In game development, don't just throw anything out there just because. The idea here for this tutorial series is to give you an idea of what it looks like if you make your own. This is not a like this is more for beginners learning the asset pack and then build on it. We're also going to take a look now at other assets that we need to pay attention to, including Mr. Flamethrower here. That looks like this. We will take a look at this later. We also have Mr. Spike Ball. Now we're gonna make this harder, but I'm gonna try to make it forgiving. With Mr. Spikes over here. Then we have another of these switch platforms. We're gonna move it over here. I'm gonna extend the wall so that there's no cheating. We're almost done with this little obstacle course. Now what's gonna happen is there's gonna be another cube, another falling block over here. But I'm gonna add a Mr. Flamethrower. So be very careful with your jump. Okay, that's Mr. Flamethrower over here. Now, Mr. Flamethrower has other particular assets in terms of the toggle. As you guys can see here, we have a few ideas here. We have toggle. Now, in the asset pack, when you play the test level, you can actually hit a switch to turn it off. For this particular tutorial, we will not turn it off, just so that you can see everything when it's all said and done for our little test level. Okay, so that's a little fire action on the board. Okay, so that is auto toggled. And finally, we are going to move over to the final box, the final boxes, and just in case I need another one, I think I'm going to need another one, so I will add one more. And I'm just going to resize this. So that we can get to this portion right here. Okay, now, so that is our little obstacle course. Now, I know it's not like a real obstacle course, but that's on purpose. Over here, you die here. You die in this area. Okay, you respawn when we actually fix this as a level. So let's just take a look, making sure that we have blocked everything a real player cannot see. So in a Mario game, you would actually hit the I would actually copy this. We're gonna rotate this way. Nope, this way. Okay, we're gonna move this. I'm gonna move this little box right there. We're gonna move this over here, and then I'm going to up this. I'm gonna up it. I'm gonna make sure it's aligned, and it looks aligned. Okay, cool. And I'm going to copy this. I'm gonna rotate it to the other side, like this. I'm gonna rotate it like these. And then I'm going to move it to where this back side is. Okay. I'm gonna rectangle this so it fits over here. And then like that. Awesome. And I'm gonna cover the staircase just using this cube. Rotate. And then, oops, rotate this. Up this. Actually, is that 90? No, I don't think that's 90. There we go. Up this. Up this. And then right. Make sure it's covered. Make sure it's covered, and then make sure that you can actually be able to test and see the obstacle in front of you. I think this is a little low, so I'm gonna redo this one. I think that's good. And there you go. Now you have your little obstacle right here. Now, I am actually going to add a wall here, so that you don't accidentally go this way by accident. Like this. And then we're going to go ahead and align this wall. There it is. There's our little environment. I'm going to right click. I'm going to rotate this so that we can do the other side. Now I'm going to keep the roof open, just so that it's not too hard to use. But I will raise the roof. I will raise the wall. So that is a top down. That is how it looks top down now. If we look at it top down, that is how our level looks. Now I will, however, try to grab a wall here. Grab this wall. I'm just gonna cover this. Even though there's nothing here, I want to cover it so that a player cannot accidentally go here. Okay, I'm gonna raise the little roof here, the little wall. Okay, it's a little uneven because I haven't done these walls either. That means I also have to by rule move this up, raise these two. I'm adding another cube. Yeah, raise these two. Awesome. And then raise this one. So you want to be level with the environment when it comes to this wall. Okay, we're good there. Gonna raise it. Okay, nice. We're gonna save it there because now it's testing time. Now let's see how we did. Let's try it. Let me just now. I would recommend we're gonna fix the camera another time, but this is the other area right here. There's nothing here right now. Now I'm gonna have to fix the camera though, but that's another time. So right here we have our little obstacle course. We can move the camera around to get a sneak peek at what we have. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. No, I missed it. I don't have the other stuff to make it lose a life yet, so that will be another time. But that is your little taste of this. Actually, before we move on to the next section, I do want to show you the jumping platforms there, just so that we can I can give you a little taste on it. So we go here, we go here, we go here. You see how it switches? Just like in Mario Galaxy. See, that's how that's how that particular platform works. Now, I am going to remove this wall. What I'm going to do instead is I am going to have under this particular wall, this particular floor, I'm going to add a box collider. We're going to add a box collider. 3D box collider. I'm going to edit the collider. Very important, we're going to edit this collider. Okay. I am going to where's the little one? I'm going to go to this side over there where it ends. I'm going to drag it. Oh, it has another one. No, it doesn't. That is hard to see. But if you can make it out where there's a box. There's a little box. What I want to do, drag this little guy all the way to where our little box. Oh, that's going up. Oops. Right around here. Right? Now what I want to do is I want to block the outside. So I'm putting the box collider outside. And then over here on the right part of the box collider, I want to make it where I can block this area. I gotta make sure I can find a box. It's a small green square. Let's see if I can find it. It's a small, there it is. I saw it. This box, you go all the way to the end. all the way to the end of this particular area. Because Lily cannot jump all the way that high, you are covered. Because if, let's test this out. Let's test this out to make sure it works correctly. Okay, so because this is considered ground, you do not fall off. But as you guys can see, if we try to go here, we cannot go here. However, because it counts as a wall, you are allowed to wall jump with this part of this asset by default. You see how I didn't cover this? If I covered this, I would not fall off. Okay? So be very careful, because if you use a box collider, this entire thing is a wall because it's a wall. So make sure you have your box colliders handy. Other than the camera, which we will do later, now we have a rotating cube, and I think I made it way too hard. Okay. So that cube actually rotates. So we're gonna change it to where it's easier. So what I'm gonna do instead is I am gonna be nice and remove this cube, this little dice cube, but as a little not consequence, but to make it more easier to play, I'm just gonna add another cube like I would for regular from regular Probuilder. And then we can just resize this puppy right here. Yeah, I just want to make sure where is our asset. There we go. So we need to resize this to where we can land on this area without first touching the spike. So I might move the platform. Yeah, I will. So once you get to this area, your journey continues going this way to the end here. Now, the way the end level works is another asset, which we'll get into in a moment. We're going to play it now just to test it out, and I want to give you some tips and tricks later. Okay, so I need to make sure. Okay, so as you see, I have to fix the camera a little bit because this is my first time playing with the actual camera here. Well, you play again. But you can actually tilt it up if you need to. So you see how we can tilt it up. Now we made it this way. We'll go here. We'll go here. And ta-da. Now keep in mind, just because you can tilt it up does not mean good game design right off the rip. You have to make sure that everything works correctly. Now, let's get into the other stuff. Once we get here, once we get to this particular part, we are going to add a checkpoint. Alright, we add checkpoint. Excuse me. That's under examples, prefab. Prefab. And I believe that is under, let's say, is it MSIC? No. No, it is. Checkpoint is under MSIC. Miscellaneous. Although that should have been more active. So when you hit this checkpoint, that means um you if you die here, you go back here. It's like a regular game. A regular Sonic Mario game. You go back to this checkpoint. You also have other prefabs like the sign. The sign is literally a sign. So we're going to put here, we're going to put this is a checkpoint if you fall off the stage or or lose your hearts, you will go back here. Now the way this works, it's a pop-up, which we will see in a moment when we test this. So we're going to test this. Now the reason why I'm going through as much assets as possible is because as part of your mini project, you want to learn how to use all the assets as much as possible. That's why I want to show you as much as I can. Okay, now when we touch this, checkpoint there, and here is how the sign looks when you pass over it. The radius is up to around here. So I can go this way. I cannot go from the back. You have to go from the front. So it's a little box. Okay. Now be very careful. Don't accidentally go back. Like go back that way. Because if you do and you touch another checkpoint, this checkpoint will be overridden by that checkpoint over there. If you made a checkpoint. Okay. Now, let's have some fun. And we're going to add some familiar stuff. For this area, we're going to go ahead and go to the right over here. We're going to extend this to the right. But when you play it, you're going to be going northbound. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to add some stuff. Our stuff for today is we're going to add something where we're going to add like this. Now you can see we have a garden. But this garden is holding coins. Just like hidden coins in Mario games. You find coins. But we're also going to find enemies, which is under prefab, entities, and we're going to have a blue slime. I know, boring slime, but it's the best that we got for now. Okay, and we're going to learn how to start attacking and stuff. We can also manipulate the slime's abilities and stats on the right side in the inspector. An initial HP of 1, meaning 1 hit. Alright, that's it. Okay, we're going to add another slime to make it more interesting. Not really, but you get my point. Okay, we also have a slime flower follower variant which will follow you before attacking. So that's another thing we can do. Okay, so when we get to this point, we're going to get slimed. Now, when we go to other prefabs, we're going to go to other prefabs. We're also going to start learning about item boxes and what you can earn. So we have a few item boxes. We have coins, empty, heart, and life. Very simple what each one has. Heart is a heart. In case you lose a heart, you can grab one here. Very simple. Alright, we're gonna add that to our game, our level. Item box life means you get one extra life. Very simple, like a 1-up in Mario. Be very careful, however, because these puppies like to bounce around. We're gonna add that over here. So be very careful. We're also going to add the one for 5 coins over here. So now it looks like a game. Okay, kind of. Now we're going to play test. So we're going to play test it from the beginning. Okay, we hit the checkpoint. Now to attack, it's right trigger. You can also jump on them. Now when you do the hidden garden, you can manipulate where you can get the coins. Now I'm going to show you the item boxes. We have the 5 coins here. When there's an X, that means this box is empty. We have the 1 coin, the heart. Now I got lucky that one didn't bounce. Right click, right trigger is your spin attack. And then we have the life. Do you see how it bounces, right? See, 3 seconds, it's gone. Now these slimes are easy because I didn't manipulate anything. Alright? So that's a little taste of that. Now, we also have crates. We also have collectibles. The way this works is very simple. There's 3 different types of coins. We have the yellow coin, which gives you 1. But keep in mind, just because it gives you 1 doesn't mean you cannot change it. But it's a 1. Usually it's a 1, so there you go. We also have red coin. Red coin. And we have blue coin. Red is 2, yellow is 1, blue is 5. Just like a regular Mario. Alright? So we have a red coin, blue coin, and yellow coin. Alright? Let me just make sure there's nothing else we can do here by accident. And it has the script called collectible. Very important, it has the script collectible. If you have a collectible item, you have to have it as a script and you have to call it. We also have bouncy heart, coin, life, hidden coin. You can also have a hidden coin. The way this works, you just drag it, but you just collect it. You have to find it. You have to find the hidden coin. And then we have a star. Now, the star is a special item. The star should be used as a collectible for unlocking levels. In the level select screen, which I want to show you in a bit, you're going to be able to find that you can collect 3 stars per level. Now this is like the Yoshi coin that you would normally find in Yoshi Mario World, Super Mario World. But instead of 5, you need 3. 3 stars does not give you a 1 up, but allows you to get closer to another level that you want to select. Let's say that we have a restaurant level for 1 star, for 3 stars, and then let's say you have a house level that has 3 stars. Now it's up to you on how you place them. The idea here is to allow you to collect stars to unlock levels. We will go into more of this next Tuesday when we do our next tutorial because we're almost out of time. Now, after this part, we're going to go ahead and start talking about more assets here. We have a few more to introduce you to. Now, I'm going to block this area on purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this wall, and then I'm going to copy the wall. I'm going to copy this wall, this new wall that I just made. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to cover this part. I'm going to resize this, and then we're going to learn about portal. We're going to learn about portals. So we have a portal that we are allowed to add under prefabs. I believe it's under miscellaneous. Yes, miscellaneous. We have portal A. Oops. Let's see. We got portal A. We're going to move it up. We're going to rotate this to where the box collider is over there. And we can see it. And then portal B. And then we'll talk about the settings in a moment. Portal B is going to be here on the other side. Now let's take a look at the settings for portal A. On the inspector on the right side of the screen. So as you guys can see here, we have portal, which is a script. We have script portal. We have exit, exit offset, teleport clip, and invert exit direction. The most important part of this is exit. You want to put this as portal B. Okay, portal B, which is this side of the coin over here. Okay. Now we're going to test it to make sure it works, because I want to make sure when we do game dev tutorials, you want to test everything, even though it is just for beginners. Let me see why my controller decided not to work anymore. Yeah, my controller stopped working. Okay, something is not right with the portal then. I think it's the portal. I'm gonna remove the portals for now, but the idea is to move them to the other side. I'm gonna reject my portal idea for now. Now, let's say, let's do something cool here. We're going to add, what is this? Force field. Okay. We're going to add those flamethrower, those spikes thing. But we're going to do something different. So these spikes are going to be blocking this area right here. I'm going to move them over here. So I can copy and paste. Write this. Oh wait, that is not what I wanted. I needed the full spike. There we go. Because for this part, I am going to uh, rectangle tool. I cannot breathe it. There we go. Rectangle tool. I'm gonna turn this into stairs. So I'm gonna copy our little area here. I'm gonna move it to where we can turn this into stairs. Right here. I'm gonna resize this. I am going to heighten this to make it like a staircase. And on this level, now yes, you can actually jump over this. But my idea here is to show you guys the switch. We have a button here. But we also gonna have under crates, we're gonna have crate. Now the idea of this crate is not to break it. Don't break the crate. Which is why I'm gonna add another one just in case. Do not break the crate. The idea is to block this button here. This button will essentially turn this off. So we're gonna actually remove these spikes for now. Because what I want to do is demonstrate the the button. So what we have here is spikes. We have a toggle. So right now we have a button here. The button is allowed to toggle this as an off. Okay? So right now if we test this by itself, this is going to be counting as a trigger. This button. Which is a crate. The crate is right there. This has a panel with the spikes panel, which is attached to collect. This is a collectible. No wait, that's a hidden coin. Where is that? This is the one I'm looking for. Okay. The state is on and off. So keep that in mind. Let's test this out to where we are. Because we're almost out of time. Because I want to get into how to end the level. Hold on. Okay, so my controller does not want to work all of a sudden. And I think I know why. I think it's one of the assets was not pointed right. Let's remove the slimes for now. Let me see if that fixes it. Because sometimes removing stuff works. Okay. It works now. So, something with the slimes. I almost dropped it there. Gonna reset. I don't have, remember, this is not an official level yet because I did not do everything. So I'm going to teach you guys how to grab. Now keep in mind, this is just a little taste of the asset that you guys can do. I'm just here to give you guys a little taste of it. So we have our coins, 2, 1, 5. Except I haven't put the collectible thing yet. You can also ground pound. There is 5 coins. This is collectible life. To grab, what's my grab button? I want to make sure I have the right button. My grab button is Y. So you can put that right there. Now when this is programmed correctly, you can actually put this on here and the spikes will go down. That's the idea of this right here. Now, final touch. We're now going to show you guys how to clear the level. And that will be it for this one. I was going to put this more of a bigger level, but because this is just a tutorial for beginners, just gonna put this, and then I'm just gonna put prefab, miscellaneous, MISC. We go to end level. You touch this, your level's over. You're done. Okay. We have a few things here. We have the panel. We also have the rotator, level controller, and we also have another thing under here. We have the mesh itself. Okay. Activation entity has to stay at player. Cannot be auto toggled. You cannot auto toggle that. Okay. On activate, when it's activated, it will run the end level panel script. Runtime only will be end level panel. Then we have rotator, we have level controller. Okay. That's how that works. Let me show you what happens when we do level there. And then next week, we're going to program the button. We're also going to start talking about actual main menu material. And I'm going to give you a preview of that today, right now, after this little test. So like that, checkpoint there. So you see this? This is our level ender. All you have to do is step on it, and the level is over. Now I did not put anything on the programming, so it's not going to do anything. And besides, I haven't put it on the main menu, which I'm about to show you the main menu now. So we go back to prefabs, we go back to examples, we go to scene. We're going to go to scenes under here. We're going to go to main menu, and we have the following. So the main menu has the game prefab, main camera, canvas, and event system. Under game, we also have levels and collectibles. Now levels, this is why I said there's more levels here. We have 3 levels right now. The planets level, the test level, and the 2D level. But that 2D level is a test level. we're gonna add one more. We're gonna add our level, which is our new test level. This is test level. Now, no locking. Our start level setting is test scene. Scene is going to be new test level. Okay? When we are finished with the level, we can either unlock the next level, or if you chose the next level to be like with stars, then you go to the main menu so that you can get the next level. And that'll be it for there. That'll be it for there. So let's test this out from the main menu. So that is your main menu. So as you guys can see, we have a new game, like a Mario game. We're gonna load this up. We have three levels. Then we have our fort. We have our little test level, okay? We're gonna hit play. Actually, hold up. I didn't add the scene yet. So hold up. We could go to think file, build and run. No, not build and run. Yeah, because this is under Unity 6. Under edit project settings. No, wait. Edit. We have to find build settings here. I'm gonna find build settings. Assets, no, that's not it. Yeah. Hold up, one moment. This won't take long, hopefully. Unless I am not seeing it right. Yeah, build settings Unity 6. File, file, build profiles. Oh, this is a new one. Okay. Oh, this is new. Okay. See, so now we have open scene list. So as you guys can see here, we have the scene list. Very important that we have this because we only have 3. We're going to add the open scenes. Or we can drag our new test level scene here, which allows us to add that level. Now let's test it out. Be very careful when you do this. You must have the exact same name and case for the level. There we go. There's our level. This is our test run level. We just made this. Now there's no stars, so you're not going to be able to get stars yet. But now the coins count. What happens if we die in this level? I'm still going to have to fix that. That's for sure. But you can still lose a heart now. So that's a little taste of this asset. Now, we're gonna do this one more time before we end it here. Because there's too many projects for this particular tutorial series. I showed you how to make a 3D level. We're also going to learn how to make a 2D level. Actually, three mini projects. 3D level, 3D level with gravity, and then we have the 2D. So this today was just a tutorial. We're going to take a look at the 2D level. So this is the 2D level. You cannot rotate the camera. But the idea is the same. The rules are the same. You die in the level, you have to start with checkpoint. That's you losing a heart. That's losing another heart. And then we have wall jumping. Ah, you see how this is 2D. So we're gonna do this as well. Checkpoint there. Jump over that. So we're gonna learn how to do this as well. Oh, I forgot I don't have any more hearts. Well, you just saw an example of what happens if you lose all your hearts. So there you go. So that's our third mini project, the 2D level. So next time, we're going to take a look more at a 3D level but with gravity. We're going to take a look at that. Then we have a mini project. We'll give you mini project. And then we're going to be doing the next part, which is the 2D. Then we'll be doing another mini project. And then we have the final project, which is like a level. Where we are doing like one level for 3D and one level for 2D. Alright? That's the game plan. Okay? Hopefully you guys enjoyed how to learn how to make your very first level here in the asset. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. And if I have enough time, I'm going to be making another video for you guys on this particular tutorial. Just to give you guys some tips and tricks. Enjoy. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Mario here on the channel. Just to give you another example, Mario is a platformer game. So take a look, pay attention to tomorrow's ROM hack. You're gonna see what I just made for you. It's like that Mario game. So enjoy. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Mario.